Never take for granted the opportunity that God gives us to minister, whether we're speaking or singing or just witnessing, testifying. God says that His word says that we are changed by the blood and the word of our testimony. That's what takes us where we need to go. Something about the blood of Jesus. There's power in His blood. Still today, those of you who know me know the challenges that I have been through. Those of you who don't know me, I just want you to know there was a time in my life when I was trying to live. I don't mean trying to live for Jesus. I was living for Jesus, but I was trying to stay alive. I was fighting for my life. I was in a coma for 60 days. I was on my way. I actually was on my way to a workshop in New Waverly, Texas. I never made it. I still don't know what happened to the car or me or whatever. But, because I have what's called post-traumatic amnesia. And I say that's just God's way of, not letting us remember what His brought us through. There is still some evidence. I still walk with a limp. I am blind. But I know y'all know I can see, right? But I was telling you what the doctor said. That I am blind, and they don't understand how I can see anything. But I know. Because even when I was going through the tests and the trials, I had to learn how to read. I was a teacher. I knew I was a teacher, but I couldn't say my name. And I couldn't remember my name. I couldn't remember anything. And words on a page just looked like Chinese to me. But I knew that I was a teacher and I knew I couldn't read. And that was mentally depressing. But all the time when the enemy was telling me other things, God was telling me it's just another testimony of word. So guess what? I didn't learn about it. So I had to learn how to read. I had to learn how to walk, I had to learn how to breathe on my own and trust God that I am breathing because now I'm not hooked up to a machine. Hello? I've been in a wheelchair, I've been confined to a bed, I've been on a walker, I've been on a cane. Hello? Hello? And I have faith. I teach children. And even when the doctor, I was getting ready to go back to work and they told me, we don't see how you can go back and teach children. I said, well, I'm going back next week. And I said that with some power. Oh, but when I stepped out of the doctor's office, trust me, the enemy was right there telling me what I couldn't do, what I would not do, how dare me to think. And I got in the car and my husband said, they don't know what God promised you. They don't know what God told you. Don't worry about it. And I went back to work. Yes, I did. Then I was Ryan. Miss Ryan is my neighbor on the job. Sometimes I had to go in there and take a nap so I could rest because I was very, very weak. And even when I went back to work, I was still on the cane. Very, very challenged. Even though, children come up and they hug you, they don't know how weak you are. In my mind, I said, baby, you about to knock me down. But it was the memory of the children that kind of, along with what God had told me, kept me going. Because physically it was very, very challenging. It was painful to learn how to walk. Even though they kept telling me when I stand up, I'm just standing there. And I can't stand up and I can't walk and my legs ain't moving. And my brain is not telling me what to do at all. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. But he kept showing me myself like this. Where I was taking care of my mother and my mother-in-law. And my mother is 74. My mother-in-law is 93. And I was taking care of them. And I've been taking care of them 12 years in my home. Okay? My mother and my mother-in-law. I've been taking care of them. Hello. And so I've been going from being pushed in a wheelchair, pushing somebody else. God gave me all that time to push everything. Push everything. Everything is going great. You know, God is good and He's still allowing us, you know, to do all these things. But, you know, God knows more about us than we know about ourselves. You know, when we get tired too. And I was with my husband in January. It was January the 7th. I remember that day because I call it the day of completion. I was with my husband in Luby's Cafeteria in Clinton Road, Texas. And we had eaten a very good meal. And my husband went to the restroom. He came back and I knew he was ready to go. So I said, well, just let me go in for a minute. I come out and he's laying on the table. And I said, are you joking? And he was just, I never seen anything like this in my life. Just a blank stare. And he was just barely breathing. And the plate was broken. And I said, are you choking? And he didn't say anything. And then he just stopped breathing. And I said, wait. All I told the Lord, I didn't have time for no fancy prayer. I said, not today. And I said, hey! I need some help up in here. And these people came from everywhere that were just there eating. And they started throwing tables and chairs. They had my husband on the ground and they're pumping and pumping and pumping. And he's not responding. And you're telling me no pulse. No pulse. And I'm like, oh God, I hear that today. Jesus. I'm just remembering myself. I thought he was dead. I thought it was over. I thought it was over. They got there and they defibrillated him. He was breathing faintly and they said, we got to get out of here right now. And we got to the hospital and they ran the tests and they took him in and they came out and by that time my church was there, we prayed and God said, you know, no blockage. And I was like, okay. And then they told us, you know, his heart was working at only 20%. And I'm like, oh God. So he had to get a defibrillator to keep him here. And I am so grateful. So grateful. God has been so good to me. Bless me once again. The power of God is amazing. There is no situation, whatever God let me to do. But I thank God so much. I got so much. I hope I can get through this. I got so so many wonderful blessings.
worship in the room right there. But we're going to begin to thank Him. Come on, come on.